So reading on from Chaitanya Charitamrita, the introduction, how we are trying to understand the position of Srimati Radharani. In the next verse, the author further explains why Krishna assumed the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He desired to know the glory of Radha's love. Why is she so much in love with me? Krishna asked. What is my special qualification that attracts her so? And what is the actual way in which she loves me? He wanted to feel what does Radharani feel when she's loving me? And what is it in me that makes her love me so much? Why is she so much in love with me? He wanted to know all this. It seems strange that Krishna, as the Supreme, should be attracted by anyone's love. A man searches after the love of a woman because he is imperfect. He lacks something. In this material world, we are all lacking, and that's why we want to have the love from another. Because we are incomplete and we feel, oh, if this person loves me, with his love, I will feel complete. But Krishna, he's complete in himself. So what happened to him? So, but this is not the case with Krishna, who is full in himself. Thus, Krishna expressed surprise. Why am I attracted by Radharani? And when Radharani feels my love, what is she actually feeling? To taste the essence of that loving exchange, Krishna made his appearance in the same way that the moon appears on the horizon of the sea. Just as the moon was produced by the churning of the sea, by the churning of spiritual loving affairs, the moon of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. So this is a nice analogy that when the ocean was churned, the moon was produced. And when Radha, Rani and Krishna, when they're having their loving pastimes, and so Krishna wants to feel what is Radharani feeling. He can't understand what she's feeling. He wants to experience that. And so he's wondering, hey, I'm supposed to be the supreme enjoyer. How come she's enjoying more than me? What is it that she's going through? And how can he do that then? He's not able to experience it. But how can he experience? That's the reason he came himself in the mood of Radharani, in the mood of a devotee, to know what does a devotee feel so much pleasure in serving me. Why is it a devotee is trying to please me, but the devotee is feeling more happier than me? And so he wants to become a devotee, and that's how he came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Indeed, Lord Chaitanya's complexion was golden, just like the luster of the moon. Although this is figurative language, it conveys the meaning behind the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The full significance of his appearance will be explained in later chapters. And so that's the reason we are all encouraged to become devotees of Krishna. Because we are all trying to become Krishna. It's not possible for us to become Krishna. Each of us want to be Krishna in this material world. That's the reason we are here in the material world. I want to be the enjoyer. I want to be the controller. I am independent. I am the owner. But it's not possible for us. But if we just try to serve Krishna and feel the pleasure, feel the bliss, then that is our success. Because even Krishna wants to taste that. Imagine, so how much sweet it must be just to serve Krishna. That even Krishna wants to taste the sweetness. That what is Radharani feeling, After offering respects to Lord Chaitanya, Krishnadas Kaviraj begins offering them to Lord Nityananda in the 7th verse of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. The Lord explains that Lord Nityananda is Balaram, who is the origin of Mahavishnu. So Lord Nityananda and Balaram, they are non-different. Balaramji, he came as Lord Nityananda. Krishna came as Lord Chaitanya. Balaram came as Lord Nityananda. And Balaram is the origin of Mahavishnu, because Krishna first expands as Balaram. And then all the other incarnations, all the expansions are coming from Balaram. And so Mahavishnu, who is creating this entire material world, is an expansion of Balaram, who is an expansion of Krishna. So of course, Krishna is the original, but this is just the way to see how they have expanded. Krishna's first expansion is Balaram, a portion of whom is manifested as Sankarshan, who then expands as Pradyumna. In this way, so many expansions take place. Although there are many expansions, Lord Sri Krishna is the origin, as confirmed in the Brahma Samhita. He is like the original candle, from which many thousands and millions of candles are lit. Although any number of candles can be lit, the original candle still retains its identity as the origin. In this way, Krishna expands himself into so many forms, and all these expansions are called Vishnu Tattva. Vishnu is a large light, and we are small lights, but we are all expansions of Krishna. So we are also tiny, tiny, tiny expansions of Krishna, but we are very tiny, insignificant, whereas Krishna is unlimited. You know, like a tiny particle of sunshine compared to the whole sun, like that. So we are also tiny expansions of Krishna. But we are thinking we are the body. And Krishna is the original candle. And his expansions, his incarnations, they all have the same potency. But still, Krishna is the original. He has the supreme potency. Is that okay?
Very nice.
Yeah. Thank you. So, when it is necessary to create the material universes, Vishnu expands himself as Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu lies down in the causal ocean and breathes all the universes from his nostrils. So, as we know that how does the material creation happens? Mahavishnu is there in the causal ocean, and of course he's coming from the Chaturvyuha, from Lord Vishnu. And then from his breathing, when he breathes, all these universes are coming from his body. Thus, from Mahavishnu and the causal ocean spring all the universes. And all these universes, including ours, float in the causal ocean. In this regard, there is a story of Vaman, who, when he took 3 steps, stuck his foot through the covering of this universe. Water from the causal ocean flowed through the hole that his foot made, and it is said that that water became the river Ganges. Therefore, the Ganges is accepted as the most sacred water of Vishnu and is worshipped by all Hindus from the Himalayas down to the Bay of Bengal. So when Lord Vamandev appeared and he expanded himself, and because Bali Maharaj told him, I'll give you 3 steps of land. With his 1 foot, he covered all the lower and middle planetary systems. With the 2nd foot, he was covering all the other higher planetary systems, but his foot struck into the covering of this material world. And then came the water of the causal ocean, came inside. It struck the covering of this universe. And so this water came down and it washed the feet of Vamandev as it came down. And this water is Mother Ganga. That's why she's so purifying, because she has first bathed the feet of the Lord, and she's coming from the causal ocean where Mahavishnu himself is lying down. So Mahavishnu is actually an expansion of Balaram, who is Krishna's first expansion. And in the Vrindavan pastimes, his brother. In the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The word Rama refers to Balaram. Since Lord Nityananda is Balaram, Rama also refers to Lord Nityananda. Thus, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama addresses not only Krishna and Balaram, but Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda as well. So in the Hare Krishna mantra, there was at one point of time, there were two devotees who were discussing amongst themselves. Oh, the Rama in Hare Krishna mantra means Lord Ramachandra. And another said, no, it means Balaram. So they went to Prabhupada. Prabhupada, who's right? What does the Rama in the Hare Krishna mantra mean? Does it refer to Lord Ramachandra or does it refer to Lord Balaram? Here, of course, Prabhupada is saying that when we are saying Rama, meaning Balaram, also means to include Lord Nityananda, because Lord Nityananda is Balaram himself. So at that time, Prabhupada told them, you both are correct. Because there's no difference between Lord Ramachandra, Lord Krishna, Lord Balaram. They're all Krishna. They're all coming from Krishna. And then Prabhupada said, but Srila Jiva Goswami also gives another meaning, that this Rama appearing in the Hare Krishna mantra means Radha Raman, the one who gives pleasure to Srimati Radharani. And that is Krishna himself, because he's the one who gives pleasure to Radharani. That's why he's called Radha Raman, one who gives pleasure. Yeah, so we can stop here for today. Are there any questions or comments?
This is beautiful. So this is the tattva, right?
I'm sorry?
This is the tattva.
This is the?
This is the tattva that we are talking about.
Yeah, tattva, yeah.
So this was the Balram tattva and Radha tattva.
Yeah. Radharani is Krishna's internal energy, and Balaramji is Krishna's first expansion. Yeah.
So this is like they will talk in more detail in the verses, right?
Yeah.
He's just giving us the introduction right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Repeat it later again.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. So Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Shla Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Yeah, Chaitanya Charitamrita gives us the proper understanding of all the personalities. You know, the proper understanding.